After almost 3 years without a MMA fight, 3 minutes were enough for Francis Ngannou to knock out his opponent and win the PFL heavyweight title. On January 14, 2023, the UFC heavyweight championship was taken from Francis Ngannou after he and the UFC failed to agree on a new contract. Ngannou's contract had expired in mid-December, and when negotiations stalled, the UFC decided to waive its 1-year matching rights clause, officially making Ngannou a free agent.
No, we worked with this guy for 2 years to try to get him a fight. He's absolutely impossible to deal with. He'll never be in the UFC again.
In an interview with Ariel Helwani, Ngannou revealed that he had asked for several key changes: health insurance for all fighters, the freedom for fighters to have sponsorships, and the presence of a fighter advocate in all contract negotiations. When these requests were denied, Ngannou made the bold decision to walk away, becoming the first reigning champion to leave the UFC since BJ Penn did it in 2004. But beyond these requests, the biggest issue for Francis Ngannou was the pay. He felt undervalued by the UFC, believing his achievements deserved a higher salary. After leaving the UFC, many doubted that Francis Ngannou would find a better opportunity. Some assumed he was heading toward retirement, while others predicted he'd end up fighting for a significantly lower paycheck. But then he shocked everyone. Ngannou's next move turned the tables, proving the skeptics wrong and showing that his journey was far from over. On May 16, 2023, the MMA world was stunned when Francis Ngannou signed a multi-fight deal with the Professional Fighters League, PFL. This wasn't just any contract, it was a game-changer. Ngannou joined PFL's pay-per-view super fight division, securing the freedom to continue competing in other sports like boxing. What made the deal even more remarkable was his negotiation on behalf of his future opponents, ensuring they'd earn a minimum of $1 million per fight. Ngannou's influence didn't stop there. He took on a leadership role, becoming a member of PFL's Global Advisory Board, dedicated to advocating for fighter rights, and secured an equity stake as the chairman of the soon-to-be-launched PFL Africa League. This historic contract was hailed as a turning point in the sport, setting new standards for how fighters are valued. Before stepping into the PFL octagon, Francis Ngannou took his talents to the boxing ring, eager to prove he could stand toe-to-toe with the best in the sport, and to make some serious money along the way. Known as the most powerful puncher in MMA, there was a lot of speculation about whether he could compete with boxing's elite. Ngannou set out to silence the doubters with a massive showdown against Tyson Fury, scheduled for October 28, 2023, in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Most saw this match as a mismatch, expecting Fury to dominate while Ngannou cashed in on a big payday. But once again, Ngannou defied the odds. In the third round, he knocked Fury down, stunning the crowd and taking the fight to a dramatic conclusion. The bout went the distance, with the judges awarding Fury a controversial split decision victory, 95-94, 96-93, 94-95. According to CompuBox stats, Fury landed 71 punches to Ngannou's 59, but Ngannou held the edge in power shots, outlanding Fury 37-32. This performance earned Ngannou a spot in the WBC rankings, debuting at number 10. WBC President Mauricio Sulaiman affirmed that Ngannou's ranking was in line with their criteria, recognizing his formidable combat skills across different disciplines. Ngannou's impressive display left boxing fans hungry for more. Many called for an immediate rematch with Fury, but his next challenge was another top-tier opponent, Anthony Joshua. On March 8, 2024, in Riyadh, Ngannou squared off against Joshua, who took the bout with serious preparation, fully aware of Ngannou's strength and technique. Joshua's experience in the boxing ring proved to be the deciding factor. Ngannou struggled to find his rhythm and ultimately lost by a second-round knockout, showing that while his boxing journey had potential, there were still mountains left to climb. The anticipation grew, and on October 19, 2024, Ngannou faced 2023 PFL heavyweight champion Renan Ferreira at PFL Super Fights Battle of the Giants. He delivered another iconic performance, winning by a first-round knockout via ground punches to claim the PFL Heavyweight Superfight Championship. Conor McGregor made a bold move, placing a $500,000 bet on Renan Ferreira to take down Francis Ngannou. But unfortunately for the Notorious, things didn't go as planned. With Ngannou's dominant victory, McGregor's wallet took a hit, leaving him with nothing but a loss and a reason to pour a few extra glasses of proper 12 to ease the sting. Let's break down the financial journey of Francis Ngannou, from his early days in the UFC to his headline-grabbing paydays in boxing and the PFL. 1. UFC debut, 2015. Ngannou's first UFC fight brought him around $22,500. 2. Victory over Alistair Overeem, 2017. His first significant win earned him $90,000. 3. First fight against Stipe Miocic, 2018. Despite a title loss, Ngannou earned $500,000. 4. Loss to Derek Lewis, 2018. He walked away with $105,000. 5. Rematch victory against Curtis Blades, 2018. Ngannou made a big jump to $255,000, a significant increase from the $26,500 he earned in their first encounter in 2016. 6. UFC 260 rematch with Stipe Miocic, 2021. For his victorious heavyweight title fight, he earned about $580,000. 7. Title defense against Cyril Gane, 2022. In his final UFC bout, Ngannou took home around $600,000. 8. Boxing debut against Tyson Fury, 2023. Ngannou's move to boxing paid off tremendously with a reported $10 million payday, a career high. 9. Fight against Anthony Joshua, 2024. The numbers skyrocketed even further, with Joshua expected to earn $50 million and Ngannou pocketing a solid $20 million. 10th, multi-fight PFL deal. Ngannou's contract with the PFL guarantees him a high seven-figure payout per fight. Additionally, his opponents will receive a minimum of $1 million, demonstrating Ngannou's focus on elevating fighter pay across the board. Ngannou's career numbers highlight a meteoric rise, from humble beginnings in the UFC to record-breaking purses in boxing and the PFL, cementing his status as one of the highest-paid and most influential fighters in combat sports today. Francis Ngannou's journey to becoming one of the highest-paid athletes in combat sports is nothing short of inspiring. Born and raised in the small village of Batié, Cameroon, he grew up in deep poverty with limited access to formal education. Life took a challenging turn early on. His parents divorced when he was 6, and he was sent to live with his aunt. By age 10, Ngannou was working in a sand quarry just to make ends meet. Despite his difficult circumstances, he steered clear of local gangs, choosing instead to turn his father's reputation as a street fighter into a positive driving force, fueling his ambition to pursue boxing. At 22, Ngannou began training in boxing, going against the initial reluctance of his family. After just a year, he had to pause his training due to illness, and he continued doing odd jobs to survive. At 26, he made the bold decision to travel to Paris to chase his dream of becoming a professional boxer. The journey was anything but smooth. After a grueling trek, he was arrested and jailed for 2 months in Spain for crossing the border illegally. Upon finally reaching Paris, he was homeless with no money, connections, or a place to stay. Ngannou's luck began to change when he found a boxing club where he met coach Didier Carmon. Seeing Ngannou's potential and drive, Carmon convinced the gym to allow him to train for free and introduced him to MMA. Ngannou also volunteered at Lo Chorba, a local nonprofit in Paris. When his gym closed for the summer, Lo Chorba's director introduced him to Fernand Lopez and the MMA Factory. Though Ngannou's original goal was to become a boxer, Lopez recognized his potential in MMA and offered him the necessary gear and a place to stay at the gym, setting him on the path to MMA success. From poverty to a heavyweight champion, Ngannou's journey is a testament to resilience, showing how far determination and perseverance can take someone even when all the odds are stacked against them.
I mean, you want to talk about an amazing story that's like right out of a movie. The guy was homeless, came from Africa where he worked in a sand mine, and then gets to the #1 contender spot in the UFC.